What is going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today I am coming to you from South America, where it is winter. So, in this video, we're going to actually talk about the best neighborhoods to live in Phoenix, Arizona. Having gone through South America now to from Lima, Peru, and now on to Santiago, Chile. Man, I've got so many ideas of things that I would love to see happen in Phoenix, and I just I don't know. So many things about down here remind me of Phoenix because this is a desert. Lima was a desert, but they've got some pretty cool ideas that I'd like to see in Phoenix, and the idea of neighborhoods and living situations has popped up, and so that's why we're making this video, kind of with a little bit of inspiration from South America here in the deserts. Not that it's actually the desert here is called the Atacama Desert, by the way. And if you guys want to keep up with my channel, Island Hopper TV, where I am traveling, I think that travel is good for ideas and whatnot, and that's why I do it. But we're going to talk about Encanto district, or the Encanto neighborhood in central Phoenix, and we're going to talk about a couple different places around Chandler, like Ocotillo. We're going to talk about Eastmark. We're going to talk about Anthem and some of these other communities in Northwest Phoenix, Verrado and Buckeye, and we're going to go through some of these lists. So here's kind of the list for people who want to move here or move to Arizona, who like to be in the city, in the heart of it all. So you're going to want to check out downtown Tempe. That, in my opinion, is becoming something, and they're building high rises. Even as I was driving to the airport the day that I left to begin travel to South America, well, to Cancun and then to South America, they had so much construction, high-rise development taking place in downtown Tempe. I was impressed because how much it's changed just over the last couple months. So it's really becoming a special place, downtown Tempe. That's near Arizona State University. Usually university areas get kind of run down over time, and then they get forgotten because kids live there and they don't have money. Well, they're really turning Rio Salado and downtown Tempe into something special. You're also going to have downtown Scottsdale, okay, which is obviously one of the more premier areas. And right next to there, I'm going to say Arcadia. So you have downtown Scottsdale, and then as you go a little bit past Papago, you come to Arcadia. Arcadia is a really special place. And if you go right past Arcadia, you come to Biltmore. That whole area going east to west, from Biltmore all the way across to downtown Scottsdale, is a really nice area to check out. So if you've got a pen and paper, write it down right now, because that's kind of the areas you're going to want to check out if you want to be right in the middle of the city. Okay. Then you have downtown Phoenix, which I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not a big fan of downtown Phoenix. They want to make downtown Phoenix something special. I just don't care for it. So I personally will not vouch for downtown Phoenix, which would also include Roosevelt Row. It's not that I'm a hater. It's not that I don't want to see that place become something great, because I do. I want to see it become something great, but I just don't think it's there, and I don't think it's worth vouching for. And then you have in Northwest Phoenix, you have North Peoria. It's a really nice area up in North Peoria. I would say definitely worth checking out. And then you also have Anthem in North Phoenix. So if you go beyond North Peoria, which I don't think is actually going to be considered Metro Phoenix, you have Wickenburg, which is up and coming. By the way, guys, smash up the likes if you guys are tuning in here to help get this out there. But the area of North Peoria that I'm going to recommend is going to be my brother. He's a real estate agent. He's in our group if you guys need to talk to him about it. But he recently gave this place a really big thumbs up. And let me see if I can pull it up. So it's Vistancia, that area around Vistancia. But you can ask him, Matthew. He's in our group, Living in Arizona, if you haven't already joined there. But Anthem, I know some people said they went to Anthem. They thought it was very bland. They thought it was very dry. My grandparents live in Anthem, and I've been going to Anthem for the last 20 years to visit them, because they've lived there that long. They love it. They don't want to move. So that's another place. Now, two places that are kind of in the Southeast Valley that are up and coming that you should really start checking out and add to your radar. I think this is going to be the place to be, is the Southeast Valley, in particular this community called Eastmark. I went through there. We have a video that we made about Eastmark on this channel. And if you haven't already seen it, you can search for it. But it's really, yeah, Vistancia is away from everything. And that's very true. But you would want to definitely go check out Eastmark. It's still under construction, but they're throwing up houses very quickly. I know that a lot of people, they I don't know what the thing is with Eastmark, but um, what I'm saying is people, they don't know what to make of it because it's so new and there's nothing out there yet. But there's the Apple data center. Google's building its facilities. We've got a nice community center, and it's got a great view of the Superstition Mountains. And then to the north, it's got a view of the Usury Mountains. So it's close to lakes too, because you can just, you can just slingshot right up there through the Usury Pass right there, and then you're at the Salt River and you just go to Saguaro Lake. Or you could go the opposite direction through Apache Junction up the 88 and you end up in Canyon Lake. So I think Eastmark's where it's at. It's probably the best up and coming new community in Phoenix, Arizona. And that's just right next to Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport, which might be a downside because you'd be dealing with aircraft noise. Now, one community in Chandler or neighborhood in Chandler that's going to definitely be that you should add to your radar to explore is Ocotillo. Ocotillo is a fantastic community. I do recommend that place. I would live there totally. For sure, I would live in Ocotillo. Another place that I think it's a little bit older or a little bit more established, which could be a good thing. The only thing is the homes are going to be a little bit older, but Ahwatukee Foothills. We talked about that. I've even made a video about Ahwatukee Foothills, but that's definitely an area to explore if you have not already. Let's see here. Let me check on some of these comments. Sorry, I was looking at the map here. Jeff, nice to see you. Yeah, I saw a video on Eastmark. Peter, you're right. Yes. Also, another question that isn't related to the topic. I live in Norway, so I missed your live stream on North versus South Arizona. Can you give some information about small town right by Parker Dam? Are you talking about Parker, Arizona, over on the west side of the western part of the state by Lake Havasu? If that's what you're talking about, what would you like to know about that? It's hot, small, and it's hot. It's next to California. If that's the place you're talking about, which I think it is, called Parker, Arizona. I'll look at it though, since I'm into tech, maybe a good match for me. Yeah, Eastmark, man, that place is booming, guys. Booming, booming. It's coming along. I mean, they've got they're calling it the tech corridor. They've even got a big plan to throw in another freeway that's going to extend down towards Florence and Tucson. Gold Canyon is another great community that's really beautiful and scenic. It's like the Oro Valley of Phoenix. Gold Canyon, add that to your list. Parker Dam. Is this in Phoenix? Parker Dam. The only Parker Dam that I know of is on the border. It's on the Colorado River. It's called Parker, Arizona. I thought it was called Parker, Arizona. I don't know. Sorry, your question is throwing me off here. I only know of Parker, Arizona, Parker Dam. Also, what are your views on Desert Ridge? Desert Ridge is a great community. So if you go north to Desert Ridge, right there is Pinnacle High School. Pinnacle High School has won state football and state basketball. So Mesa Mountain View, Mesa, the whole area of Chandler, Mesa, Gilbert, kind of, they used to dominate 5A, 6A sports in Phoenix Metro, along with Scottsdale, like, yeah, Chaparral and Saguaro High School. They dominated the sports scene. Well, now all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Pinnacle. Pinnacle is right where Desert Ridge is. So that's a great community right there. They have a golf course called Wildfire right there. Is it Wildfire or Wildflower? It's a beautiful golf course. But Desert Ridge is tremendous. It's right next to the 101. I mean, you're not going to get a better location really in Phoenix than Anthem or Pinnacle. Yes, Peter, Gold Canyon is on the east side. Oh, let me see here. Okay, so you're asking about south of Lake Havasu. So that's not really on the subject of Phoenix, but I mean, no, I would not recommend it over there. It's hot. It's unless you really are in love with living on the Colorado River. No, I would not recommend it. Michelle, no, I'm not in Peru. I am now in Chile. I was just in Peru. I didn't go to Cusco. It's just too cold to go up into the Andes too high because I'm a little bit of I'm a zony. I don't like too cold of weather. And I did actually, when I left to Cancun, I didn't bring any. I just recently had to buy some sweaters and pants because, yeah, it's winter down here and it's pretty cold. Smash up the likes if you guys are watching. 35 people watching, 17 likes. So thank you to 17 people who crushed up the likes. Guys, I would love to see some of you guys over at my Island Hopper TV channel. There's the link. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love to see you guys over there because you guys are so cool to me. And I think you guys would enjoy some of the travel content where I go around and do some of the same kind of stuff. Thanks, Robot in MySpace. Downtown Tempe, got to love the ASU girls. Yeah, I mean, if you're into young girls, ASU or downtown Tempe does have a lot of young women. If you're into more mature dating scene, men and women, right? You know, if you're a female, you'd be looking for men, or whatever your situation is. But that's Scottsdale. Scottsdale is right up the way from Tempe, so you can have the best of both worlds. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you can have the mature crowd, and then you can have the young crowd. Sometimes people like to party with the young people just because the young people like to stay up till 2 in the morning dancing. Older people, mature people enjoy the food and the conversation, and that's Scottsdale for you. How long in South America? I don't know yet. I have not. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can go to Buenos Aires next. Part of me wants to stay in Chile and go all the way down to Patagonia and explore Patagonia and Punta Arenas. But it's so cold down there. You know, I mean, there's going to be penguins, and it's Antarctica. It's close to Antarctica. Straits of Magellan are down there. But then over to Tierra del Fuego in Argentina. However, then tomorrow I would like to go to Valparaiso, which is on the coast. And they also have San Antonio, which is on the coast. So I'd like to do that. But again, cold. So it's not like, I mean, it's like going to San Francisco in the winter. It's just kind of pointless, right? I did not go to Ecuador. I did not. I want to go to Ecuador. I looked at Quito. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to bounce around, but Buenos Aires is definitely on the agenda. I'm also eyeballing Rio de Janeiro, which I've always wanted to go to. It's just every time I look up Rio, they're always like, it's dangerous. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, what happened to Rio? Like, like the publicity, the media conversation about Rio is not so great. Yeah, that's Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So Lionsgate in Gilbert seems to be on the snobby side, though. Or wait, Lionsgate in Gilbert seems nice and very family oriented. Scottsdale women tend to be on the snobby side, though, said Rick Travis. Kyle said that about Lionsgate. Sorry about that, guys. So yes, I am getting a coat. I was even thinking about going to Easter Island. I mean, Easter Island's down here. I was also looking at the Galapagos Islands. I mean, there's just so much to do, and it's like you need like 2 or 3 trips to go to South America. I don't think it's one thing you can do in any short amount of time. Yeah, it's a good time to go to Oslo, I'm sure, until the winter. But let's see here. So I was thinking about moving to Phoenix in a few months. What's a good area in Phoenix or Mesa to look for an apartment? So a good area in Phoenix is going to be Arcadia. You can also check out Paradise Valley if you can find some nice high-end apartments in Paradise Valley. That's always a win. If you can't find any, I mean, what's your price range actually? Let's talk about that. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, getting to Easter Island would be kind of a little bit of a challenge, Peter, because it's so far out there. Another island that's part of Chile that I didn't even know is Robinson Crusoe Island. So, but Patagonia is the spot. Patagonia is the place to go. Not Patagonia, Arizona. Patagonia, Chile is the real Patagonia. Did you attend uni in Arizona? No, I did not attend uni in Arizona. I went to online college when I was in the Navy, and I went to, well, I went to, last college I went to was Embry-Riddle. Panama. I thought about going to Panama. Thoughts on Deer Valley in Phoenix? I would not move to Deer Valley in Phoenix. Maybe North Deer Valley, Happy Valley area, I would go there, but Deer Valley, no. No, thank you. Yes, I do. I do miss my dog and I miss my cat, but they're in good hands. They're doing good. They're hanging in there. There's no problem. I mean, they're fur friends. You know, they're having a good life. I don't even know if I don't even know if they realize I'm gone. You know, they're having so much fun. Are you going to Colombia? Medellin has lots of pretty girls. You guys are so funny, because you guys act like, you know, there's no women watching and that we can just have that conversation. Um, there's lots of pretty girls all over the place, really. I mean, but Medellin, Colombia, you know, it's another one of those places you got to check the how safe it is, right? Like, I mean, I was just doing a little bit of research on Brazil. You guys got to watch. I'm telling you, you got to sign. You got to follow my channel, Island Hopper TV, because you'll see where I'm going and what it's like out here. But Brazil, I mean, it's there's just not a lot of good press about it. But I really am like, if I'm gonna go to Buenos Aires and then I go to Montevideo, then I'm like, I'm right there at the border. I should just go right into Rio, at least go to Ipanema or you know, Copacabana and stuff like that. And then from Rio, I could slingshot back up to either Ecuador and then go to Medellin, or go to Cartagena, and then maybe even bounce, because you know, catching the long flight from Rio to Miami is such a long haul. I mean, because then you go Rio to Miami, then to Phoenix, right? Or it might go Rio, Miami, Dallas, Phoenix. It's just such a beast of a, um, just such a beast of a flight. Thanks, Michelle. Noel says, "Hey, I'm into horticulture. What's the farming areas of Arizona? Is it decent industry? Farming in Arizona is pretty good in, well, there's, I mean, where I live in Santan Valley, right, which is Queen Creek, there's Schneff Farms. I mean, they've grown stuff out there. I've grown stuff in my backyard. Uh, for those, if you, it sounds like you haven't seen many of my videos, Noel, but I've got a backyard that I try to turn into a tropical paradise. It's barely holding on because it's been 112 degrees every single day, basically, in Phoenix, 106 to 112, and it's really been a hot summer with not a lot of monsoon activity, and so. Yeah, I mean, you need shade trees. It starts with the shade trees. If you can get established shade trees or get some cover for whatever you're going to grow on the ground, your tropicals, your bananas or your mangoes or whatever. But I've seen some stuff growing up in uh, there's Young's Farm up in Prescott Valley. I've seen some stuff out there in the Camp Verde area. They also have vineyards out there. Um, it just depends on the climate, how high up you are. Also, are you in the desert? Are you in the forest? You know, stuff like that. Wow, 30 people smashed up the likes. Thank you to everyone who smashed up the likes. We got 45 people watching. Arizona is one of the biggest producers of leafy greens. So, Northern Arizona, I love your channel, man. Thank you, Noel. Do you think the Native American reservations around Phoenix ever will open up for residential building? What? Sorry, man. What? Why? Okay, number one is, why would they? Okay, so you're asking, I would imagine you're interested in Scottsdale becoming, you know, building around the commercial infrastructure they've put in, like the casino. But Native American reservations typically don't want uh, to invite too many people from off the reservation to live there. And so, what I know that some of these communities come up next to the reservation, but I don't know why you would be asking why the reservations would open up to residential. Are you trying to live on a reservation? Because I mean, from my experience, they don't want people who are not a part of the tribe on their reservation. Yeah, Chuck said it pretty much. Chuck just pretty much said it. That was not what is his name? Robot in space, not robot in my space. You've asked some really awesome questions today. I'm saying, like, you've got my mind jogged between the Parker Dam and the reservation. But you must have a reason why you're asking these questions. And once I understand what your reasoning behind why you're asking these abstract questions, I can maybe answer a little bit better. Thank you, Noel, man, for the super chat. Noel, here's a cup of coffee that I guess thanks to Noel. I get that my questions might not make any sense. It's 3 a.m. I'm on a phone. I still don't know what you're asking about these reservations, but yes, we do have some big reservations in the state of Arizona. You have the Navajo Nation in the north. You have many different reservations all across Phoenix Metro on the outskirts and whatnot. Oh, stream is breaking up. Is it not coming in? Can you guys hear me? Oh no, stream is breaking up. Okay, it's good now. Okay. Any thoughts about new development being built along the north side of the 303 Lake Pleasant? They've been really working on building that freeway system for a while now, and the development's going on or around the 303. It's a nice area. It's a great area. It's a beautiful area. That's what I would say about that. I would say that would be a good thing if they develop that area. Oh, it's a little blurry. All right, robot in space. I'm still working with you here. The land will never be used for building new communities. That is basically the question. Okay, so um in Scottsdale, Talking Stick Casino, where the aquarium is, where they're also building some other infrastructure. They build stuff there, but it benefits the tribe. It's it's not tip it, if you're trying to ask if you as an American non-Native American can live on native land, I would say just generally the answer blanket statement is going to be no. But I can't speak for the tribes, but that's what I'm basically going to say is if you're trying to live on an Indian reservation, the answer generally is going to be no. Think again. Don't. There's plenty of other land. Like if you're looking for great land, there's plenty of other land that's not on the reservation that you can check out. And I can give you those answers. But the odds of you trying to move on to an Indian reservation is basically no. Unless you're a Native American. Are you Native American, man? Indian land will not be used for communities unless it's Indian communities. That's what Chuck Miller said. Chuck, me and Chuck, we're on the same page here. Would you ever live in Black Canyon City? No. No. No, I wouldn't. Chuck says you have to marry a native if you want to live on a reservation. There you go. So are Californians going to overpopulate Arizona? I want to live outside of a metro area. If you want to live outside of a metro area in Arizona, do you want to live in the desert or do you want to live in the forest? Go check out Cottonwood, guys. I've talked about Cottonwood a couple times, but I haven't really been too specific about Cottonwood. But that whole area is known as the Verde Valley. You have Cottonwood, Cornville. It's kind of close to Sedona. It's called the Verde Valley, Camp Verde. That area it's not overly congested. It's a little bit cooler than Phoenix, maybe 10 degrees cooler on average. It's great though. I mean, but from Phoenix to Tucson, yeah, they're planning on making that into a super corridor. And it's not just California who's moving here or moving to Arizona. You've got people from the Midwest, Chicago, Northeast, they're moving out here. Even people from the Southeast are moving out to Arizona. People from the Northwest, Washington, are moving out to Arizona. People from Utah keep moving to Arizona. So it's not just California that's moving there. And that whole area where they're just going to fill it in. Yeah, Casa Grande. Someone was asking about Casa Grande earlier in the video. We made a video about that earlier, which is called the mega region. It's Phoenix to Tucson, one big metropolis. Anticipated population of anywhere between 10 to 15 million people by 2050. So we'll see about that. Show Low would be great for retirement. It's a little bit cold. It's up in the pines, but Show Low is a great place to retire. It's really relaxing, and you can have a cabin up there. You can get some fairly decently priced land out there. It's great. Peter Brown, that's right. I'll be coming from Chicago. See, some people are coming from Chicago. So there you go. Chuck Miller, I found this channel because YouTube recommended it as a gun channel. Now I just kind of hung out. It's cool. Thanks, Chuck. Drunken Chef, you know, folks from everywhere are coming out here. Yes, they're just coming from all over. And not everyone stays too, because people, you know, it's like, what's the number one reason why people leave Arizona to begin with? I mean, that's a whole subject all in of itself, but people come out here and they're come out to Phoenix because I'm in Chile. I'm not there. Oh man, I got to put myself where I'm at, right? But why do people leave Phoenix when they come here? Well, they can't handle the extreme heat. Some people say they like dry heat better than humidity, but then, you know, people get like cabin fever. They'll be indoors so damn long in the summertime. Like, so it's the opposite of what happens in the winter. Like, it's too cold to go outside. Well, in the summer in Phoenix, it's too hot to go outside for some people. So they just can't tolerate it, so they leave. But then again, it's dry heat, and I don't think it's that bad, but some people don't really like it. So that's one reason they leave. Also, some people, if they have asthma and stuff, they move to Phoenix because it's better. Like my grandma, she had to move to Phoenix because she had emphysema. But some people, they get breathing problems because of something like the dust in the air or whatever, you know. So everyone's deals with it differently. Okay, so Noel says, thanks for your videos, are the most informative I've found on AZ. I live in Mississippi and it blows here. Finishing college, then I'm out west. Good, yeah. I mean, just bear in mind, guys, no place is perfect, okay? Because I mean, I've had people saying, you know, we already know about some of the people. Darren Kroc, he was on our channel. He's like our resident pessimist about Arizona. He absolutely hates it, but he watches all the videos and comments on every live stream. He's not here today for some reason, but you know, he said plenty of negative things about Arizona. And again, I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, there's no place that's perfect. I've yet to find the perfect city. But if you like a lot of sunshine, you'll love Arizona. If you like modern, up and coming, you'll like Arizona. If you like driving and you don't mind it, I should say, you'll like Phoenix, you know. There you go, Frank. How do you think? What's your initial thoughts on Mesa? I mean, moving to Arizona, if you can live with if you can live with the Phoenix summer, June, July, August, you can handle all of Phoenix. It's the most painful it will be for you is June, July, and August. And if you can handle that, then you can handle anything in Phoenix. And I'm telling you that straight up. 41 people crushed up the likes, and we have 60 people watching. So that's because of you guys who got the video out there. How's Mesa so far? See, a lot of people want to know about Mesa. And I was talking, like when we first started this video, I was saying Eastmark in Mesa is awesome. It's very up and coming, and I mean, it's going to be a big thing. It's the tech corridor is what they're calling it. So, all right, Phoenix says Cactus Park is the worst PD precinct. They all go nuts and on. Okay. Norterra is a nice place. Yes, Michelle, you're right. Frank says, it's not bad. It's a lot better than the place I moved from. So Frank, who now lives in Mesa, he said, just said that. Chandler is great. Brooke, if you want a good community to check out in Chandler, check out Ocotillo. I like Ocotillo, right next to IBM. I would totally live in Ocotillo, and I would live in Ahwatukee foothills. Chandler and Ahwatukee are right next to each other. I mean, the only reason it's not called Chandler, I mean, Ahwatukee could just be Chandler, but they decided to call it Ahwatukee. But it's so close. I mean, it's just basically the difference between Chandler and Ahwatukee is on the other side of the freeway and built in the foothills. Peter Brown, I'll trade the polar vortex for 3 months for the extreme heat for 3 months. I don't know, man. I'm down here in Chile right now, and the cold, like it's gray. There's no sun, and I'm like, oh man, it's too cold. It's only 60 degrees. It's only like 59 degrees, but I guess I'm too used to being in Arizona. Kyle says, don't California my Arizona. Okay. 202 is a great drive with views. 202 is a good drive. It's going to be the South Mountain Freeway, which is going to go around South Mountain. Be a great view. I mean, the construction of go on YouTube and type in 202 construction South Mountain Freeway and check out some of the drone shots that people have gotten of the construction of the 202. Quite amazing construction project. It's a shame that it's a freeway and just a freeway because, you know, I would like to see something more than a freeway, a great project in Arizona, more than just a freeway be built. But, you know, Arizona's had, we occasionally get our projects, you know, back when they were building the state-of-the-art Bank One ballpark where the Diamondbacks play. That was a big thing that everyone was waiting for. It took 2 to 3 years to build. Back when they built the Arizona Cardinals Stadium, which was at the time called it's called the Big Toaster. Back then it was called University of Phoenix Stadium. Now it's State Farm Stadium. I remember back when America West Arena was being built. But it's been a while since we've had any real exciting construction projects that Phoenix is, you know, pioneering. But the 202 South Mountain Freeway, if you get a chance, check that out. That's a pretty cool project. Is there any good hunting in Arizona? Yeah, there's some good hunting in Arizona. You can do some hunting in southern Arizona, which is probably the best. Also, northern Arizona has some. And then people even from Arizona, they go up into Colorado and go hunt elk. But you can do that out in northern Arizona. Drunken Chef, hit that like button, everyone, please. Thanks, man. What are your opinions on Glendale? I can't recall ever hearing you talk about it. Well, I don't talk too much about Glendale because Glendale doesn't appeal to me. The only thing that's in Glendale is the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. Glendale is just one thing you'll discover about me personally is I'm not a big fan of West Phoenix. I think it's okay. And I like the people that live there. You know, they're just Phoenicians. But me personally, I wouldn't. It's flat. It's hot. There's no views. There's no mountains. It's congested. It's old. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. If you go, yes. Now, if you start working, like Phoenix Cop Watch says, North Glendale is decent towards Peoria. There you go. Smash that like. You guys should smash that subscribe button on Island Hopper TV. That's where I could use some of you guys' happy-go-lucky mentality. I just posted a link right there. I'm telling you, if you guys go over there, Island Hopper TV, you can watch some of those videos. I'm telling you, it's just about as fun as this Arizona stuff. I mean, but the only difference is it's not just Arizona. It's about getting excited to travel the world. And like I said, I'm in Santiago, Chile, a place I've always wanted to go. And I just came from Peru. I didn't go to Cusco, but you know, I'd love to go to Machu Picchu. And from here, I plan to go to Argentina if I don't stick around here in Chile and go down to Patagonia, not Patagonia, Arizona, but Patagonia, and then go over to Buenos Aires in Argentina, and then maybe even make it all the way to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So thank you, Peter, for smashing up that subscribe button on Hopper TV. Thank you, Noel, for subbing over there also. And you guys, definitely let me know if you guys like that channel. Let's see here. Got a little bit of a unique one coming on. So up to 60, you're right, Peter. Drunken Chef, Tim McFat took, oh, look in East Mesa. Okay. What are nicer areas in Mesa? Yeah, East Mesa. Going towards West Mesa, not so nice. Southwest Mesa, not so nice. It's older Mesa, but East Mesa. Now, we're not talking about Apache Junction because that's northeast. But Apache Junction is it's beautiful, but I don't know if you'd like Apache Junction. I think that the Thunderbird Mountain area is nice and is considered Glendale. Yeah, Thunderbird Mountain. You're talking about Moon Valley. That's the area over there, and it's kind of near Sunny Slope. So, yeah, Thunderbird is Moon Valley. You would be looking at Moon Valley. That's near Grand Canyon University. What about Verrado? Looks beautiful. Verrado's okay. It's like the crown jewel of West Phoenix, if there ever was one. But I mean, yeah, it's more affordable than Scottsdale, but Verrado is what it's like. It's like taking what's built in Scottsdale, what's built in Vistancia, what's built in North White Tank Mountains over in Verrado. But for the most part, and you'll save money, but you're going to be trying to be living like you're living in Scottsdale, but way far away. Jeff, is Goodyear as good a place to live? Goodyear is a good place to live. I mean, it's West Phoenix. It's affordable. If you're on a budget, Goodyear is pretty good. Yeah. Where does East Mesa start? I thought it was around Apache Junction. So East Mesa, the area that most of us have been talking about on this video, is where Eastmark is. So you've got to go to Eastmark in Mesa. Okay. There's another community that I'm going to give a shout out to if I can remember the name of it, but it's East Mesa. And that is basically at the interchange of the 202 and the 24. If you look at the map, there's the 24. They only built a little bit of it to Ellsworth. They're planning on building more of it beyond Ellsworth. And so the community out there that I'm recommending is called Cadence. It's a smaller version of Eastmark. So you have Eastmark Mesa, and then you have Cadence right below it off of Ellsworth. If you go a little bit further south off of that, you eventually come into Queen Creek. And Queen Creek is another one of those places. It's like it's emerging. I mean, it's another place up and coming. Queen Creek is. But and then if you go a little bit further, you would come into Santan Valley, which is definitely, I mean, the long-term prospects for Santan Valley, if it keeps growing like it is, I mean, it's going to be, I mean, that place has an opportunity to be one of the most, that could be the next big thing in Phoenix or in Arizona or in the United States, Santan Valley. It's not there yet, but the way, just the location with the Santan Mountains and the way it's in a valley and it's got, you know, all these mountain views on all directions. You can see the superstitions, you can see the Santan Mountains, and just the position of it, the weather, the climate, just everything about it. It could be something special one day, maybe 5 years from now. Santan Valley will be, you know, but it's not right. It's not there yet. I mean, Queen Creek is there a little bit, kind of. What about Country Club Drive area of Mesa? It's okay over there. That you go check out Val Vista Lakes in Mesa. Any opinion on Moon Valley in Phoenix? Moon Valley is it's old school. It's old. It's old. It's old school. As far as the Santan Valley contaminated water system, there has been a problem with Johnson Utilities. That's who you're talking about. I live in Santan Valley, but I don't have Johnson Utilities. It wasn't because I chose not to. I got Queen Creek, but Queen Creek kind of keeps swallowing up, annexing Santan Valley, which ultimately could end up, the whole Santan Valley could end up ultimately being Queen Creek. But from what I understood is the state or the city, the state, I think, took over Johnson Utilities. They fined the guy like $100 million. He's the guy from Johnson Ranch. And then, yeah, so that was, if you're into politics, look up the guy from Johnson Utilities in Santan Valley. He was fined $100 million because there was contaminated water and people were getting sick from the water out there. But from what I understand is they booted him out, and now they've got the state managing that, and things have improved. Can you find a studio apartment under $800? Sure, you can. In Glendale, probably in West Phoenix, most of West Phoenix, you could probably find one. If you're talking about Mesa, maybe, yeah, probably. Darren Croc says, Darren has arrived. Darren Croc says, Country Club Drive in Mesa is not what it sounds. It's only okay at best, rundown in some places. Jeffrey Uy says, Emperado Apartments. Frank says, where I'm at is not the nicest, but a step up from where I was in Cali. That's good, Frank. Yes, Country Club is not that nice. It's old Mesa. It's old school Mesa. Do you just have a Santan zip code, but are really in Queen Creek for everything else? You know, I don't know exactly how they're handling it. But I know that if you're thinking about, well, yeah, if you're thinking about moving out to Santan Valley, there's a couple Facebook groups. There's Santan Valley Happenings, and there's Santan Valley Buy, Sell, and Trade. But in that group, you can ask any of those questions, and they'll tell you. And I peek in there to see what's the latest on the politics. And even when I first moved out here, I was trying to get a feeling for why Santan Valley wasn't incorporated, but Queen Creek was. And there was always this complaint that Queen Creek keeps annexing more of Santan Valley, and people don't like that. And they tried to get an incorporation for Santan Valley, but Queen Creek local government kept battling it, shutting it down. So that's why I think Queen Creek is ultimately just going to swallow up everything but here's the one problem. Santan Valley is in Pinal County and Queen Creek is in Maricopa County. So can a city cross county lines, right? So that's kind of like the big question. Can Queen Creek cross county lines and be a part of Maricopa and Pinal? Right, that's right, Darren. There are lots of nice apartments in Mesa. Yes, in Mesa, there are a lot of nice apartments. Val Vista Lakes area is a pretty good place. Was trying to find your Phoenix Metro Facebook group. Do you have a link? Yes, we have a link to Phoenix Metro. Just join our group, Living in Arizona. And then from that group, Living in Arizona, let me see if I can get you the link to that. There should be a link to our other pages that we were starting. I haven't really been building the Phoenix Metro one. It's going to take a little bit of time because now I'm out of the country traveling. But the Living in Arizona group is where most of the activity goes for the state. But I wanted to build Phoenix Metro's group. It's just been a slow build. But there's the link to that. So I just posted it in the chat. You can join Living in Arizona's group. Single people like to live near Gilbert Main Street. Gilbert Main Street is great. I mean, they got a Dirks Bentley down there. I would like to think they're not done with Gilbert Main Street. If they keep building Gilbert Main Street, I mean, that could be a fun little town, fun little downtown area. Really, it could be. And Gilbert is just a real cool place to be. It's great for families, decent nightlife, great food, I think. Well, decent food. I mean, great food. I don't know about that, but pretty good food. Good houses. A little bit expensive for Phoenix. I mean, you know, the average home in Gilbert is anywhere between 320 to 360, but it's a good area to be in. And I mean, it's just one or two big building infrastructure plans away from being something really special. Like if they say they moved a pro sports team to Gilbert, or they built a theme park in Gilbert, or a water park, or something special, you know, a destination in Gilbert. That's what's lacking right now. There's no destination. Heck, they barely even have any hotels in Gilbert. But if they build like a theme park, like we're talking like a Disneyland type theme park out there, that place just in no time becomes like a great thing. That's the thing. They don't really build these artistic engineering marvels in Phoenix like they could, like they have here in Chile, or like they have around these other cities around the world, where they build, like they invest in the arts, the humanities. And that's why a lot of people, when they move to Arizona, one of their biggest complaints is Arizona lacks culture, or Phoenix lacks culture. It's all just suburbia, just cookie cutter suburbia, and it doesn't really have that, you know, like culture. And it doesn't even have to take up a big plot of land. Like here in Santiago, for example, they had Santiago de Central Mercado, Santiago Mercado, and it was a small building, but it had, you know, they had like a fish market, a local produce and fish and restaurants and all that. Why don't they build something like that in Phoenix? People will go to it. The indoor mercado, you know, I mean, why not? And then they also have this place called Buena Vista Patio out here in Santiago, Chile. I got videos of all this that I'll plan to post on Island Hopper TV. So to those of you who've already subscribed over there, you'll see this stuff that I'm talking about. But Buena Vista Patio, I mean, it's just 10 to 15 different restaurants in a walking area about the size of a square block, maybe even more, maybe 20 restaurants, just like Brazilian steakhouse, a sit-down bar with mosaic tile, and then another one was like PF Chang's kind of restaurant, like a high-end, you know, just nice place, and you could just kind of bounce around from place to place. I mean, they kind of do that in Scottsdale, but you know, we're talking an area the size of a square block. They build one of those in Gilbert with 10 different restaurants in a small area where people can bar hop or bounce around. That would be really good. Do you see a lot of interracial relationships in Arizona? Yes, there are. Casa Grande is moving forward on a huge park bigger than Disney World, Chuck Miller. Did they complete that? Are you sure? I mean, we talked about that before, the Dreamport Village, but I haven't heard any updates on that, which has me worried that they're not going to follow through with it. Dreamport Village, I just did a search. See, no updates. That's been they've been cooking that up in the oven for a while, but they haven't followed through with it. So I don't know about that. Oh, they all voted in favor of it, but did they get they're waiting on the investors to sign off on it. Robert Robertson, I'm moving to Queen Creek, Santan Valley area in a week. Is there major flood areas to be advised about when looking to buy for a home? No. No. Arizona doesn't really get too much flooding. You know, Phoenix really does get too much flooding. I mean, it could happen. It does happen maybe once a year, twice a year. The roads will flood, but they've got great drainages systems. And no, and we don't get that much. We don't get like hurricane. Thank you. It's good when it rains. What's up, Mofo Games? Yeah, no, I mean, where are you guys hearing that there's a lot of flood problems in Phoenix? Because that's 4 people now that asked about flooding in Phoenix. Where are you guys hearing this? This is not. Phoenix gets a little bit of flooding, but you don't, like, Phoenix isn't like Houston or Dallas or anything where you see like where you need to put like bags up against your door, you know, sandbags up against your door to stop flooding. You rarely ever see that in Phoenix. I mean, it might happen once in 10 years or once in 15 years or once in 30 years. I don't even know. I honestly can't even remember when we got a really bad flood like that. But for 4 people to ask the question consistently about rain and floods in Phoenix, that makes me wonder what has you guys worried about it. Luke says, "Hey, I live in Santan Valley. We don't have flooding." Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm just trying to figure out where they got it. Flash floods occur in certain parts of the water disappears like a vapor. Oh, you guys are asking about flash floods? I mean, flash floods happen, but they're mostly in like the desert and where there's washes. And nowadays they just build a bridge where the wash is. So, I mean, the wash is just basically like well, it's multiple things. It's like a drainage. It's like a constantly dry river that runs maybe once a year, twice a year. Okay, so what's lots of more stuff coming up about fat flash floods. Okay, people who live in Arizona help me with this one because a lot of people from out of state are getting concerned about floods in Phoenix, and I don't want to give wrong information, but my answer is wow, don't worry about that. Flooding in Phoenix, it's not a bad thing. I mean, don't cross a river. Like if it's raining and there's a river, but there's no real river. I mean, the only river in Phoenix that you'll be around is the Salt River that runs right through Tempe. So you shouldn't have a problem with that because there's big bridges. Mill Avenue is a big bridge that goes over Rio Salado, and then there's freeways. So I mean, they built tons of bridges over the Rio Salado, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. West Phoenix has the Agua Fria, which has been dry for a long time. Maybe gets a little bit. There's the Cave Creek. Cave Creek. If you're living far up into Cave Creek, you can get some flooding. Cave Creek, Cave Creek, the creek, and then some of the washes. If you're living up in like the mountains, there's flooding up there. But if you're living in Phoenix, like in Phoenix, there's no real floods. Okay, so mine's M7. I drove through a storm doing up a mountain in East Mesa, Los Sendes, and the water rose so quickly, but I did not stay flooded. Tempe had a little flooding. Yeah, I mean, the roads, okay, when we're talking about flooding, I'm thinking you guys are talking about like 1 to 2 foot worth of like water, like creating a river. I mean, the culverts, yeah, the side culverts will run with water, and then it goes into the culvert, and then it ends up in this big like lake. They have those, but as far as your house, I'm thinking you guys are worried about your house flooding. I don't know about too many houses being flooded in Phoenix, but the streets get a little bit of wet. Yeah, they get wet, definitely. We'll get a pretty good storm. We get a pretty good rain, and it'll you'll see water running along the side, but nothing that has ever been alarming to me. I mean, it'll go into the side. I don't know. Oh, good question. Thanks, Frank, for getting me off that flooding one. That one was baffling me. I don't know why. Oh, flooding in Phoenix, like flooding in Houston, sure. Um, Frank, good question. So there's Salt River, there's Lake Pleasant, Saguaro Lake, and yeah, it happened in California desert areas on the single lane highways going nowhere. Tell you what, here's what you guys can do about the flooding, because I don't really have the answer. I don't have the answer for this one. I personally don't think Arizona is a flood. I don't think Phoenix is like a flood, a dangerous flood area. Sure, there's going to be flooding, but it's not going to be. I mean, yeah. Ask that in the group living in Arizona here. Ask that in the question. Join that group and ask the questions in there, and people will tell you. I mean, I've seen creeks running with water. I've seen creeks definitely running with water. I've seen washes running with water. I've seen flash flooding. I've really seen it up in the suburbs, but not in the Phoenix metro area. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about floods that are coming into people's houses, maybe once in like 20 years. I love that you're wearing a coat in summer in Arizona. Sunshine. Sorry, sunshine. Unless I turned on my air conditioner in Arizona, I wouldn't be wearing a sweatshirt in Arizona. I am actually in a hotel in Santiago, Chile, and it's winter down here. So, yeah. Yeah, Darren said you can't wear a coat in AZ in the summer. Yeah, you just can't do it. Oh, thanks, Mofo Games. Hit that like and subscribe button, says Drunken Chef. Yeah, smash up the likes if you guys haven't, and smash up the subscribe button to Island Hopper TV, my other channel. I keep mentioning it because I really want to see you guys over there. Because what I want to do is do these live feeds on Island Hopper TV where I talk about travel. Because this whole video, like, I'm tempted to talk about all the crazy things that I've seen since I've been in South America, but because it's Arizona related, not everyone who's watching this channel wants to hear about Jeff's little escapades across South America. Have you ever witnessed snow in the valley that wasn't on top of the mountains? No, it does not snow in Phoenix. One time in 2014, it did snow a little bit in Scottsdale. Scottsdale will get some snow. But it's got to be up against the foothills, like, you know, the it goes up in elevation. You can even see like the gradient of the land moving up as you go up into Scottsdale. Yep, it's called Island Hopper TV. That's my channel. When's the next live chat on Island Hopper TV? I can do a live chat on Island Hopper TV pretty much all the time from on location. Let's see, Island Hopper TV. Here's the link right here. It's my other YouTube channel. Chile, happy for you. Have fun. Oh, thank you, sunshine. It'd be nice if some sunshine would come out in Chile, especially since I'm going to this place called Valparaiso. So here's a look at the guide. By the way, in Chile, it's not like Spanish that you get in Mexico. They say different words here. And then I heard when I go to Rio de Janeiro, the Portuguese is even more out of this world than what. So like basically you need to know Spanish when you come to Chile. I mean, that's pretty much it. But I heard when you go to Brazil, like it's Portuguese for one. The only country that's aside from Portugal that speaks Portuguese, right? Well, the biggest one. I mean, but most of these countries down here all speak Spanish except for Brazil. But I want to go to this place right here. It's called Valparaiso. And heck, if I go to Valparaiso, I might even ask them about a ferry boat to Easter Island. Thanks, Drunken Chef. Yeah, I have been I have been drinking beer here and there. I am not drunk right now, though. Do I look a little bit blitzed? I mean, I'm drinking some coffee. I suppose that you're telling me I should go get a beer. Actually, I did have 2 beers earlier today at 12 o'clock. Whenever I'm traveling, I do have beers pretty much every day. 1 or 2 beers every day when I travel, at least. I might have 2 beers in the afternoon, 2 beers at night. Beers are just a good way to just kind of, you know, I'll be like walking around filming using my GoPro and, you know, sometimes flying my drone. Well, I can't drink and then fly my drone, but I can drink and use my GoPro. Valparaiso, there is a Valparaiso in Indiana, Darren, but this is probably a more real Valparaiso. Is Chile the same time zone as Arizona? So the time zone here is 9:48. In Arizona, I think it's 6:48, right? So it's a 3-hour difference because South America, so like even though this is the west coast of South America, this is at the same longitude as New York City and Florida. And so Brazil is further out into the Atlantic Ocean. There you go. Valpo. And Frank said 6:48. So anyways, guys, yeah, I'm on the Eastern Standard Time in the United States and the West Coast time in South America. So best views in Arizona, like mountain views, go check out in Tucson, man. Tucson's got some good ones in Oro Valley, up against the Santa Catalinas. Phoenix has got some good ones up in Black Mountain and Cave Creek. You've got some good ones. Desert Mountain. You got to have the big bucks for Desert Mountain in Phoenix, though. Chile is further east than the East Coast. I mean, yeah, I don't have the exact picture in my mind, but I looked at it, and yeah. So I looked at it on a map. Let me take a look again. So here's the East Coast, and if you took a straight line down, I don't know if you guys can see that. You guys probably would have a better chance. So looking on a map, Google Maps yourself, but how many hiking trails have you conquered in Sedona? A couple up in Oak Creek Canyon. I haven't really gone hiking up in Sedona. Like, I mean, I might have done some. I haven't done any like hikes up until like the Red Rocks. I mostly just went into the Oak Creek Canyon to the cliff jumps. That was most of the hiking that I've done, is just hiking up and down the Oak Creek. But I mean, you could go hiking. Didn't really become a big thing in Arizona or in Sedona even until like until around about 2000. Hiking was a thing that locals did, but it wasn't like people coming from far and wide to go do these things. Even Havasupai Falls in the Grand Canyon. I mean, the only people who really covered Havasupai Falls was like this magazine called Arizona Highways. That's old school Arizona like travel stuff. If you get a chance, look them up on Instagram, Arizona Highways. But Arizona Highways and Sunset Magazine. Sunset Magazine covered most of the Southwest, but you know, Arizona Highways was the only one who really covered Havasupai. It wasn't until Instagram came out that Sedona and Havasupai became like world renowned famous. Before that, I mean, even like the Horseshoe Bend in the Grand Canyon. Nowadays, people just stop there just to take an Instagram picture. But back in the day, you could drive by Horseshoe Bend and no one was there. You could go to that Wave Rock that's really popular on northern Arizona. No one would be there. Nowadays, with Instagram, I mean, all that stuff is overcrowded now. People just heading over there because of Instagram. That's Horseshoe Dam or Horseshoe Bend, Havasupai Falls. Like, you can't even get to Havasupai Falls most of the time without a permit. Most people too busy. That Wave Rock, and that's crazy because there's other things in Arizona that are up and coming that people haven't found out about, like Fossil Creek. People start finding out about Fossil Creek, it's on. Anyways, guys, thanks everyone who crushed up the likes and subscribe to Island Hopper TV. Look forward to seeing you guys all over there. Thanks to all you guys who said you already subscribed. Yet again, here's the link one more time. And I'm out. I'm going to chill out, drink this coffee, maybe even go have a beer. And have fun. If you guys watch some of those videos from Island Hopper TV where I'm walking around Santiago and Lima, Cancun, and the ruins of Tulum, Xcaret, and all that, Playa del Carmen, got all videos of that from this travel. You'll see there's about 10 videos I've posted over there since I've been gone. So plenty of content to keep up with. And thank you, Sunshine, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Mo Games.